Welcome back to another 2.5 stars. I'm joined by
Jason
and Kelly, or not Kelly,
Erik. You know that you're half dwarf, right?
What if I'm the Brad Pitt of dwarf kind?
Kelly, his wife, fucked it a lot.
What's up, guys? It's Steve. I had hair when I was younger.
Like, watch this, guys. I'm gonna totally make him do it. Oh!
What's up, guys? It's Steve with Hap Gaming, and welcome back to another 2.5 stars. I am joined by
Erik.
Kelly.
Jason.
And this week we watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, directed by Steve Barron, written by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, starring Judith Hoag, Elias Koteas, and Josh Pius. We're gonna go with, I think. 14...
And Corey Feldman.
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole, there's the voice.
He's Donatello
like that
for his voice. Yeah.
4 teenage mutant ninja turtles emerge from the shadows to protect New York City from a gang of criminal ninjas. So, what'd you guys think?
That's actually a pretty accurate synopsis for one.
You just got to get short and sweet. That's all they have to do. They try to write some fucking long essay about what the fuck the movie's about, and just short and sweet. That's all you need.
I was impressed. So, as a kid, I really enjoyed this movie a lot. And I figured as an adult watching it again, I was going to look at it and see all the special effects and stuff as just being absolutely horrifically bad. They actually weren't that bad. I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good, with the exception of the rat.
Yes.
Splinter, not great, but everything else was pretty good.
Splinter on the rooftop. Getting that one guy off.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking the same thing. The whole, the I almost call the damn turtles frogs. The frogs, like, you couldn't even tell.
Goddamn frogs.
Yeah, the Splinter, he was pretty bad, wasn't he? He reminded me of like one of those really old cats, like old like alley cats you see that are all fucked up and like half sick with like one eye half falling out.
I mean, he was a sewer rat.
Yeah.
No, he was a pet rat, and they became a sewer rat.
How the hell is he learning ninjutsu as a rat? What is he, like a genetically engineered super rat?
Yeah, he was from some lab and all that stuff, and just came in and just saw it, and he was just super smart.
I mean, so what happened? They genetically engineered this rat in Japan, and then his brother was a ninjutsu guy, and he's like, I need your rat. And the guy's like, okay. So then he's training the rat. I mean, that's like that part of it to me is like, what the hell? How does this rat remember this stuff? But
well, he also had the book, didn't he? Or was that something else that I was watching?
I don't think he had a book.
Okay, that was a different Ninja Turtles thing. Maybe that's the new version, because one of them has him like teaching them from a book that he found. I'm almost positive it's a new one now. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that makes more sense, because in this one, the whole time I'm like, how does he know all this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Where did he learn it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, studying that stuff takes like 20 years to be like a master rat. And how long do rats live for? Like 5 or 6?
He's a genetically altered rat.
Well, yeah, at this point. But I mean, he's, you know what I'm saying? He can't be that old.
No, he's probably...
Rats die.
He's kind of old manish, so I'd say he's getting toward the end of his lifespan as a rat there when he's teaching the turtles.
4 years in captivity.
Well, I would absolutely love to see a 4-year, like a guy's been studying martial arts for 20 years and is the same physical specimen as a guy who's been doing it for 4 and just
he hasn't been doing it for 4. He's been doing it for 14. Anyways, because the turtles are 14 years old, and that rat
that's gonna open.
Presumably
don't play that.
Was in captivity for 4, and then at least 14 years out of captivity. So he's technically an 18-year old
okay,
rat.
so then you'd have like 18-year practitioner versus like, so that means the Shredder is 68 years old.
He's probably pretty old.
He's a 20-year-old
actually.
He's a master at whatever. When he's killing the guy's girlfriend, which is like, if you're an evil supervillain, why are you killing the girlfriend? Hasn't he seen any of these movies? You just go get a ditzy blonde, and they don't give a shit.
The only bad guy that's ever compared to Shredder, in my opinion, though, as being a good bad guy on the level that I feel like Shredder is at, has to be the bad guy that they had for Endgame, whatever his name is.
Thanos.
Thanos, yeah. Thanos and Shredder are on like the same level of awesome bad guyness for me.
Really?
I don't know. Like Shredder gets his ass kicked pretty easy in here, so.
Yeah, but I think he's awesome. It doesn't matter. He gets his ass kicked.
Well, I mean,
easily.
then it would be like awesomeness, like like a pure he's got a good image. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, he has
Yeah.
good image.
Oh yeah. Well, he is a good cult leader.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically had like a really gross little boy cult, is what he had. So.
So
you know.
Shredder, it says, is about 50 years old.
Yeah. See, he's like an ancient guy.
Yeah.
Probably got arthritis. All that stuff.
And
I think
the turtles have probably been training for 10 years because if they're 14, they probably started at about age 4.
They were like real little, and they were showing them like doing some ninja stuff, like they
Yeah,
were, like
a
tiny mutant
4-year-old.
stuff. But that was just like them growing up through the things.
They might have 14 years of experience.
They might have actual 14 full years, yeah. Still not masters. Hell, right in the beginning, he gets his ass kicked by a kid with long hair who hits him with a fucking, what is that? Like a hockey stick or something?
Cricket bat.
A cricket bat.
That's Casey Jones, though. He's
He
like
ain't no kid.
he's a fucking
man.
maniac.
Casey Jones is fucking awesome.
He's all man.
He's all man.
Yeah, he's way over strong too, because that turtle flies like 60 feet and then lands in a trash can upside down.
Well, methamphetamine is a hell of a drug.
That's right. He's kicking all these kids' asses so he can steal their meth.
That's exactly right.
Oh man, that's why he wears that mask, cover his meth mouth up.
Yeah.
That's probably right.
Oh man.
It's really funny. In Workaholics, a TV show, at one point they're talking about which Ninja Turtle they'd be, and then the other guys start calling one of them. He's like, "You're Danny. You're not even a Ninja Turtle. You're freaking Danny." And I couldn't remember Danny at all.
Oh,
Like
really?
we didn't watch the first one a ton of times. I can't remember if we didn't
You
like
didn't wear
it.
the tape out like we did.
Well, I
fuck
think
so
what
bad.
happened. I think what happened is we broke the tape. Maybe doing some martial arts on it. So
You did martial arts on the tape?
Yeah,
Yes, I think we
on
did.
it.
Like you're trying to break it like a board?
Yeah.
no,
Oh, yeah,
I think
there you
we
go.
were like throwing tapes and then karate chopping them.
like
and I
ninja
mean,
stars off.
When you're a little boy, you can't. I mean, what 5-year-old is going to actually do any damage? Well, one of us
And-
managed to whale it right into a cabinet and broke it.
Oh,
Actually, the first one we broke was the Highlander. And then we thought, holy shit, that was really cool. Did you see that plastic? So then my brother just grabbed the next one and threw it, and I did it again. And then we broke this one. And then we also broke some other movie. I can't remember what it was. A couple of Disney
Stop.
movies.
This is my movie. I want to talk about it.
Yeah, I like Kelly, I watched this movie so much. We rented this thing a lot of times, and eventually my mom just bought it for me for like Christmas or birthday or whatever. And this thing got watched. So I like knew every fucking line, it was so I fucking love the Ninja Turtles. So awesome. God,
Yeah,
it's
so
such a
my
good movie.
brother was like let's see, this is a 1980 movie. No, 90s. Well, I was thinking 80s. Yeah, sorry.
1990. Yeah.
Yeah. So for his 4th birthday, because I don't think he got anything for his 3rd birthday, but the next year after this movie came out, he got everything under the sun Ninja Turtles. And boy, I mean, since I played more with him than my sister, I got to play with all of it too. So it was just equally as cool. I mean, he had a freaking tent. He had a TV dinner stand. He had plates. He had cups. He had shoes. He had action figures. He had coloring books. I mean, freaking everything.
Did he have those action
Yeah.
figures that you could transform from turtle into the Ninja Turtle at all?
No.
Like you fold them into the shell and then like fold out, and then like they like transform into the Mutant Ninja
don't-
Turtle thing.
I don't think so.
No?
I think it was just like normal characters. I remember, there was a slice of pizza, and then there were weapons, and then I don't think it was a transformer kind of thing.
I had a
know.
crap load
I'll
of
have to
Ninja
ask him.
Turtles.
Yeah.
Crap load. We had a whole bunch.
How many of them did you break?
Yeah.
A
or
few.
melt or
Well, I remember we lost a Raphael out at a logging job.
Yeah.
And my brother Robert was not very. My dad had just dug some road on some really steep ground, so the cut bank was like 30 feet or 40 feet. So we were sliding down the cut bank with the Ninja Turtles in our hands, and then my brother just let go of his or something, and he disappeared. So then my dad was like, well, we got to go. So we're all like, no, we got to find this Ninja Turtle. So then we stayed there like 2 hours looking for this Ninja Turtle. And my dad actually helped look for it, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we didn't find it. It was gone.
Just like Raphael in this movie, man. He just fucking disappears.
Raphael was like, fucking, he took off.
He's just yelling damn all over the place.
Yeah. It's really funny. Like, when you guys were kids, did you guys go like, oh, I'm, Leonardo or Donatello?
Yes.
Yeah, of course I did.
Yeah. Me and my brothers and I did the same thing. My youngest brother, Dan, was like, he's like, I'm Michelangelo. And then he hit himself in the nuts with some homemade nunchucks about 50 times. And Robert was obviously like Raphael because he just wanted to fucking fuck shit up.
Yeah.
And then they'd make me go in between Leonardo and Donatello.
I was definitely Donatello.
I could see that.
Yeah, we dressed up for Halloween one year, and I went as Donatello. I mean, it's easiest weapon to imitate because you don't have to buy a toy; you just get a stick.
That's a stick, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah, I always chose Leonardo because I like the two swords.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, Jason's Danny.
Damn it.
I don't know about weapon wise, but of course Michelangelo's always been my favorite.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah, I could see you as a
he's the
Michelangelo for sure.
party guy.
Actually, Jason kind of reminds me more of Casey Jones,
Yeah.
where he just is running around a park beating the shit out of little kids.
Yeah, I'd do that.
I could definitely see him.
Oh yeah.
He's
I
got
did
a
that
hockey
last
stick, and
night.
he's just like, I feel like a kid like stole his coffee cup out of his truck, and he's like, "Motherfucking kids, that's it. I'm
Pulls a
gonna
little-
kick your ass."
Pulls a little bat from the back of his car. You little
Yeah,
motherfucker.
just beats the shit out of some 10-year-old. You little jerk ass.
I carry a half-length aluminum bat.
Yep, I called
So Steve called it when he said a little bat.
it.
I'll get you a Casey Jones mask for Christmas, Jason.
There you go.
I
Kids
thought
be like,
Casey-
I love Casey, and I'll hit him in the face with the bat. Do you still love Casey?
It's funny, as a little girl, I thought Casey Jones was so hot or fine or whatever a little girl would say, cute.
Yeah.
I don't know. And now I'm just like, oh, he looks like a young like Robert De Niro. Like he's totally not on the same page as what I thought he was when I was younger.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's weird.
Erik, that's kind of strange.
Well, I mean, there's definitely okay. So when all through movies and stuff growing up, there were like girls or young women. I was of course girls when I'm like 5, but
Yeah.
you grow up and you're like, oh, that lady's pretty cute, blah blah. Then you see them like years on, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't. This doesn't even look like what I remember. It's got to be the Mandela effect.
So this is one of the few things I can remember of this movie being different from the way the animated series was and all that stuff, where in the animated series they fight robots and like the Foot Clan are all fucking robots, and there's like Bebop and Rocksteady and shit like that.
I miss those guys.
Yeah. Well, this one, like, even though they changed all that shit, you still have, the general same shit, the turtles, fucking Shredder, all that stuff. But, they don't have the enemies or anything like that. And still, it turned out, to me, pretty well. I think it turned out good. I liked it a lot. The newer version, they start getting into more of the old, like, the animated stuff where, like, Bebop and Rocksteady definitely show up in the second movie. So, pretty awesome.
It's too bad they don't have those cartoons so you can get them anymore.
Yeah.
I'd really like to see one to see how bad it is.
Oh, it was horrible, I'm sure. It's probably so fucking bad.
Well, like I loved the Ghostbusters cartoon as a kid. I fucking love that.
Yeah.
So it's on Prime or something, and I recently seen it like a year ago, and I was like, "What the hell is this?
Mhm.
This isn't anything like what I remember." Same with the Thundercats.
Yeah.
I mean, the Thundercats was awesome when I was like 10. Now, can't even watch it.
You can buy it on Amazon Prime for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The old
Yep.
animated series.
Maybe I'll look on YouTube to see if I can find an episode for free and then go off of that. They had some cool stuff. Like there's like a weird like cow universe or cow aliens or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They had like robots, and you had like the brain Krang with his giant robot body thing, and
Yeah.
like all the crazy fucking robot shit going on, and there was like different mutant things and stuff too.
What
fucking,
channel
like,
was that on? Do you
frogs and
remember?
stuff. Oh no. I mean,
Whatever channel it was on, it seems to me like we got it about every, I don't know, 10th episode or something, because or my dad would be home and he'd make us watch This Old House,
yeah.
because he did that. Like Saturday morning, we'd sit down in front of the TV, and when my dad would be home, which wasn't every Saturday, he worked a lot of the time, he'd be like, "I'm gonna turn on This Old House," and it's like, you have a TV in your room. Can we watch the TV in your room? You can't go in there. Okay, so what you're saying is you can't let us watch our show, and you could go in your room and watch your show, but we can't go in your room and watch our show. So you're just basically telling us we can't watch a TV show. You got plenty of shit to do outside. Go out there and do. So then he wondered why my brother Robert beat the shit out of the gutters and stuff.
So it looks like CBS.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
But I'm always afraid of being wrong because sometimes I blurt out stuff. Like sometimes I'll miss.
that's not on the CBS app. Those chintzy
No,
sons of bitches.
There's a lot of stuff missing on that app. I'm telling you.
They got Heathcliff, but not the fucking Teenage Mutant Teenage Mutant
TJ
Turtles. I want to watch the turtles.
Oh man. Apparently, there's a documentary on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Eric.
I think it's on Netflix.
Nope. Documentary, Eric.
Oh, gross.
Oh, is that key for no? It's not.
Yeah,
no.
it totally is.
Yeah. Well, I think I
man.
seen like some kind of a, what was it? What did I see it on? Oh, it might have been on YouTube. Something. Anyways, it was some kind of like a Ninja Turtles, like a documentary type of a thing.
A documentary or a documentary?
No, a real one, not
Boing,
not for research purposes.
Okay, no research purpose. Okay.
Okay, you're being a turducken. Get over there.
I mean, I don't know. That's one of the things about the new ones. I've never actually even seen the new ones because they, instead of having any of the other actresses in the entire United States play April, they had Megan Fox do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the first thing I seen her in was 2.5 Men, and she plays this like really gross 18-year-old hoe, and that's just stuck with me as that's what she is. So I'm like, April O'Neil would never be a hoe. She'd never be a hoe.
Oh man.
Because in like the cartoon,
She'd
she
hoe
had a
out
lot
for
of
Casey
integrity.
Jones, though.
Yeah.
What's Casey Jones?
It's different.
That's different.
Damn it.
He saved her life.
The
The 18-year-old hoe on 2.5 Men would have banged all the turtles. And the pizza man.
For a shell of a time.
Damn it. Oh man. Ouch. Yeah, the new movies, they the first one not very good at all. The second one still not very good, but like it reminds me a lot more of the old animated series. Because they have like that cool van thing that shot the manhole covers out and stuff.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
I had one of those.
Oh,
You
the
had
van?
that toy?
Yeah.
Grant might have had that too. Yeah.
It didn't last long. We were playing out with it in the front yard, and my dad was driving one of his log trucks home from work to work on it, and we left it in the driveway, and then he ran over it.
Yeah, seems about right.
We had a flat turtle mobile, and I'm if I'm not mistaken, I think it was less than 2 weeks old. My mom was fucking pissed, and I know who left it out. It
Dan?
wasn't me, because that's not my move.
No.
It was Robert or Dan, one of those two. I'm pretty sure it was Dan. I don't know why it would have been like, yeah, Dan, take the toy in or whatever, but I mean, he was like 4. How the hell would he know? So then I yelled at him.
And then in that they got Stephen Amell playing Casey Jones in that one. So, Green Arrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, you guys, I don't know if you guys know who that is. So,
yeah, he's also a New Girl as like a weird DJ guy who's dating the CC lady, and he gets high on mushrooms and starts making out with every girl he can see.
Why do I not remember that? I've watched all the episodes.
Season 1.
Yeah.
So it was a long time.
It's the one where Jess decides that she needs to start dating.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, he's also in the Valentine episode with the guy from True Blood, Ryan Quanten. Is that his name?
Stackhouse. Have you guys seen True Blood?
No.
Steve has a little bit.
Seen all of it.
Like or something.
Yeah, Steve, you're missing out on a lot of boobs.
Steve doesn't like it for some reason. I don't
Steve
know.
wouldn't like
Have you
it.
seen it or?
I just
Doesn't like
haven't watched
boob?
it.
You haven't watched it. Oh.
Well, then you might like it.
Yeah.
I thought you told me you started it and didn't like it.
No, I never started it. Just never watched it. So. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Season 1 is a porno.
Yeah,
It
pretty
is.
much.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's literally a porno. The
first
whole thing
episode.
is just like it's like a softcore porn every episode.
Or every season, like was it like 3 or 4 was the Wolfman porno?
Oh yeah, Kelly was into that season. She's like, we
man.
finished watching it, and she's like, "Do you think we could rewatch that season? I think I missed a whole bunch of it." And I was like, "Yeah, I bet you did."
She's all for research purposes.
Yeah, pretty much.
You just gotta watch Wolf Cop. You got all the stuff in there, right?
No. That's a whole different documentary style. I don't like that kind.
Oh man. God damn it.
I wouldn't mind seeing a Wolf Cop and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossover.
Yeah. Just having those guys fucking. I don't know. It would have to be like old school Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when they were darker, I guess. Like they're all wearing
the
red
skin color or something?
No, when they're all like wearing red masks and stuff. They're all like mean and shit instead of the totally radical dudes.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was like comic book stuff.
Weren't they gonna make a live action one that was darker? Kid, what is your malfunction?
I don't know what his problem is right now.
Do you think you're missing out on something?
He wants to tell you about the Ninja Turtles.
Well, use your words. Quit grunting like you're, pooping your pants. Except you don't even grunt when you poop your pants.
I know.
So I know for a fact you're not doing it.
He's a silent pooper.
Out of curiosity, back when we were kids, was Disney still, or was Disney? God fucking damn it. Was Ninja Turtles still Nickelodeon, or have they sold?
It was CBS.
Oh, okay. And then they sold to Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think Viacom. It says Viacom CBS owns them. So does Viacom?
Viacom is part of Disney, isn't
yes,
it? Now.
because
or is Disney part of Wait, who was that?
Actually, I don't know which way it is, but on the CBS app, there's a lot of Nickelodeon stuff for sure. I'm like, what the heck? But somebody owns somebody. Yeah, I think it's CBS.
CBS and Viacom merged in 2019.
Oh, so fairly recent. Okay.
Yeah.
So I also kind of remember Shredder having a little bit of a messed up face in the cartoon. Am I remembering that wrong?
Yeah, he doesn't really have he wears a mask, but he doesn't really have a messed up face. Not in the old cartoon, really.
Okay, I thought he had scars on one side of his face.
I mean, maybe
he still does.
The picture,
we just seen that.
Yeah, he does in here.
Did he in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh God, I'm
At the
fucking
very
blind.
end, when
It
he
must
takes
have
his
been-
mask off, they show like the scars where Splinter attacked him as a little rat.
Yeah, before he gets
Okay.
thrown off the roof into the trash compactor.
Yeah.
I somehow missed that when they took his helmet off. I didn't see the scars. Of course, I wasn't just watching the movie, so.
And then he comes back in the next one to kick some turtle ass.
I liked the second one. I know a lot of people didn't like that one, but I did.
I liked it too. I thought it was fun. The Toka and Razor, fucking weird
Yeah.
monster animals.
I liked them. I
And
thought
that
the
one
Ra-
wasn't
I thought
Shredder
Razor
like
was-
part machine or something in
Uh,
the second one?
if not, he was real fucked up. Like
Is he like that?
he wasn't doing good because he got crushed by a garbage truck. So
Yeah, I feel like he had a biosuit or something.
he
Bionic suit.
probably had something to keep him alive. I imagine.
Oh, didn't he give himself a shitload of the goo to make himself Super Shredder?
He does at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Super Shredder.
Yeah.
With Toka and Razor. Toka. And then, so we had a Toka toy. So if you want to talk about cripple someone, you put that son of a bitch on the ground. My dad smashed it with a 20-pound sledgehammer.
Like he tripped on it
He
and then
stepped on it.
uh-huh.
And I mean, I swear, I think it might have cut his foot. He kicked it across the room and broke one of my mom's lamp. Took it outside. It was like, fuck this goddamn piece of shit, leaving it around, and then he smashed it. Who bought this anyways? So my mom goes, oh, you did. And he's like, no, I didn't buy any fucking toys. Then why are you asking who bought it?
Did you guys ever play that the arcade cabinet tournament Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No.
That
No.
thing was awesome. 4 players. It was basically you kind of go through the missions, side scrolly. Reminded me of like Streets of Rage or like a Double Dragon style thing, but 4 players. And you could, depending on which part or which like control set you chose, that's the turtle you would get. So like they had different colors for each like little section and stuff. It was similar to what the Simpsons arcade cabinet was, where it was like a side scrolly, but you like once again chose different Simpsons by which controls you stood at. So it was really fun. It's like if I could find one of those.
Where'd you play that at?
They had one at the movie theater in Paradise.
Oh yeah.
And then where else did I play it at? I feel like I played it at the bowling alley also for a little while before that was taken out. I think like they replaced it with probably like
At the old bowling alley, the one that collapsed, or a different one?
no,
No,
the one Tall Pines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If it wasn't that one, it would have been the one in Chico. Yeah.
Orchard Lanes.
Yeah. So I remember playing it a bunch. Because I don't think any of the round tables had it. I feel like that would have been too big of a machine for them. But they had those fucking huge, like, shooting ones. So I don't know. It's really fun.
Yeah, they had the only arcades that I remember playing there was a racing game and round table I played, and then there was a Street Fighter in the Safeway.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
Safeway.
Yeah, remember the Safeway at one point before they had the Wells Fargo there, they had like the little walk-in spot where you'd put your carts,
Yeah.
and then it was right there.
Okay.
Back when it was the old style with the little
Yeah.
transitionary place.
I can get one for $447.
Wow, Steve.
I
You
should
could
just
use your
pick one up.
stimulus check and buy 3.
Yeah, it's not as big as the other one though. Like it's super short. That's bullshit. The old school.
Did you guys ever play Battletoads?
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
Battletoads
years
is
ago,
awesome.
yeah.
They're coming out with a new one of those.
I thought that Battletoads was Ninja Turtles. And
They lost their
I
shells.
I was telling my friend about how I was playing the Ninja Turtles game, and then it turns out I was playing Battletoads. And that was the beginning of me not ever betting on something that I wasn't 100% sure of.
Yeah.
Sounds just like me. If I make a bet, you already know I've already won because I know the outcome. So it's not a bet for me.
Man, Battletoads was
Oh,
really
that's true.
fun. You can play it on you can play the old ones on the
The
rare
Xbox.
the rare remix thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they've
Yeah.
got a new one coming out sometime, maybe this year.
Holy crap! Stan is having a meltdown.
Pissed.
Apparently, he wanted to play with my pickup key, and I took it away, and that was like beginning of the meltdown.
You fucked up,
So
man.
our Xbox controller, he knows how to turn it on. Like
Mhm.
he purposefully turns it on, and I think he knows how to turn TV off because he does that every time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of annoying. It's like, can't you just change the channel? And then you can hide it from him, and he just finds it. It's so annoying. Sucker. So yeah, let me think here. I was going to talk about, let's see, Ninja Turtles. Oh, did you guys ever fight anybody with Ninja Turtle stuff?
Like,
Do you
what?
mean
Are you
like-
talking like South Park style?
Yeah.
Yes.
When I was in martial arts, I learned how to use nunchuck, and then proceeded to hit myself a lot of times in the back of the head and in the eyeball. But I did
Ow, the
learn.
eyeball. How the hell did you do that?
Well, I
Did
swung
you
it
throw
around.
it up in the air and try and catch it a bunch of times?
No, I swung it around like forward, and my arm wasn't extended far enough, so it came back around and hit me in the face. So
Ow.
yeah, it wasn't fun. They were training nunchucks, so at least it was foam, but so it was like foam on the outside, but like hard plastic on the inside, and I hit myself with the hard plastic part. So
It's the only
So-
way to do it.
yeah,
My brothers made training swords by taking lead pipes and then putting those foam pool toys around it.
uh-huh.
And let me tell you, you can still knock somebody out with one of those.
Yeah,
I know, because
Oh,
I
man.
drilled my brother in the head with one, thinking that it would be fine, and it knocked him out. And there was a brief, like 5 seconds, actually, it was shorter than that, when I watched his eyes roll back in his head and it was starting to fall to the ground. I thought, oh shit, I killed my brother. I'm going to sue the phone company. That's what I thought. I was
Oh
like,
man.
and then by the
That's
time he
awesome.
hit the ground, I was in full on, oh my God, I've killed my brother panic mode. So I obviously that was Dan, right? So I threw my thing down and was grabbing him like, oh my God, are you okay? And Robert hit me in the side of the head with his pipe as hard as he could. It rung my bell so hard. And I'm like, I'm trying to grab Dan. And then Dan hit me in the nuts. So it worked out. We were all even.
yeah.
And yeah,
Oh, it worked out. Yeah, we were all even. And
so we had neighbor kids, a couple of kids, John and Michael, that were the same age as me, and well, they were actually older, but the same grade as me and Robert. So we got in a big fight with Ninja Turtles toys a couple of times, and then their mom proceeded to come over and threaten to kick our ass because we
Kick their ass.
maybe had a little bit too much fervor in what we were doing. So
If they're gonna bring battle, they need to fucking they need to win. All right, it's not your fault that
Well-
you were better at fighting.
I mean, they left bloody, and we were like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah,
So that might have been a little bit too much. So
you didn't throw a ninja
I
star
don't
in
know.
anybody's eye though,
no,
and take him
but
to
I
the
did
vet.
hit. Well, see, nobody. The other kid wanted to be Leonardo, so I was being Donatello. So my dad had, what the hell's it called? Son of a bitch, I can't remember. It's like a hoe, but it's not. A McLeod handle that he'd broken off. So I was using the McLeod handle. So, we're fighting, right? And he had his guard down, and I drilled him in the face with it. Full on swing, really hard. And it cut him. And then his brother wasn't looking at me, so I drilled him in the face. And then when he hit the ground, my brother Robert, who had 2 sticks
Yeah.
that he was using as the sai, stabbed him in the stomach, and might have broken one of his ribs. And then Robert kicked him in the face like
Damn it.
6 times. Yeah. Anyway, so they left bloody and crying, And my dad watched us do it and was laughing his ass off. He's like, "Why did you guys just beat up the neighbor kids?" And we were like, "What are you talking about? We were playing Ninja Turtles." He's like, "No, you just curb stomped the neighbor kids." And he was laughing about it. So then their mother came over and was yelling, and my dad's like, "No, they were climbing in that tree and fell out. Your kids don't remember even what happened."
God damn it.
So then we got spanked like the next day because that was on a Sunday. So we got spanked on Monday. So, and that was pretty funny. One time we were playing, and the kid had a Indiana Jones hat. I mean, I was so jealous of it. It was like a legit Indiana Jones hat.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Holy shit, you're like Indiana Jones!" And he got mad at me, and then he tried to beat me up. So I kicked his ass. And
What do you think the hat was?
what's that?
What did he think the hat was? He just didn't think
He
it was
didn't
Indiana
get
Jones?
mad until I said he was like Indiana Jones, and I'm like, I don't know why he would be mad that he was Indiana.
Does he
Indiana
not like
Jones is
that?
the bomb,
It's
dude.
fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Fucking
and
melts Nazi faces and stuff. It's fucking awesome.
yeah, I don't know why because we never talked about it. I mean, I beat the shit out of him, and I remember I was on top of him, just punching him in the face, and then his mom grabbed me and slapped me in the face really hard
Yeah.
to stop me, apparently, and then my mom knocked her out, and then we left. We
You
just
know
had
what
to,
it was? It was probably because Harrison Ford banged that guy's mom.
maybe.
That's why.
I mean, shit, I'd be like, fuck yeah, Indiana Jones is like my dad now. But I don't know. I was pretty proud of my dad when I was a kid because he did stuff like climb trees and drag heavy stuff around, and he was bigger than everybody else's dad by like a mile. So
you'd win those arguments. My dad could kick your dad's ass.
well, yeah, and there was a couple of guys at school that my dad had kicked their ass. So because there was a couple of kids in our grade that their dad worked for mine, and then he beat the shit out of him allegedly. So I think one of the times he just pushed a guy down, and the other guy was upset about it at a bar. So anyways, so yeah, the Ninja Turtles was like a shining light in my youth of being able to like pretend to be a ninja, and then I wanted to be in martial arts, but I think my dad was just like a firm believer in don't let those kids go to martial arts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that might have been, I don't know, that might have been wise beyond his years because I could just imagine what I would be like in a martial arts class if I could, hit some other kid in the face with stuff.
You'd be there and then like come home. Yeah, I'm not allowed back in martial arts again.
So
What'd you do?
well,
I beat the fuck out of some dude.
Robert
I said
got
fight.
Daniel. Well, listen to this, Steve. Robert was doing a screamer for a senior project, and Robert got my younger brother Dan free of screamer lessons because the guy, the instructor, was tired of Robert hitting him with the sticks.
So he was getting somebody else in there to.
Yeah, he first offered my mom free lessons.
Uh-huh.
He's like, "Look, I need somebody to spar with your son. I'm tired of him." That's what he said. And well, like Robert is one of those guys who doesn't believe in like 50% or 90%. He just goes full out.
Yeah.
You're okay if you know that. But if you expect him to actually go like, and he's not going to lie either. If you're like, "Robert, are you going to go 90%?" He's going to like, "No, I'm going to go after you." Anyway, so yeah, my mom was like, "I'm not doing that." So then my brother Dan was like, "Okay." So by the end of like the 6 months or whatever, Dan was pissing Robert off. Robert came home with knots on his head from Dan.
That's pretty good if he was able to actually hit Robert.
Yeah. Well, Robert said that Dan had like he was pretty good at getting you to like get your stick in a spot that he could trap it for a second and then just drill you with his stick. So Robert came home with a black eye and his ear half cut open from Dan just hammering him. And what's funny is Robert never had anything from the instructor. And I don't know if the instructor Robert was kind of he was a maniac. So I don't know if the guy was just trying not to just hammer him, or maybe he just couldn't,
Yeah.
because physical ability at some point with some skill is a lot better than no physical ability, So anyways, yeah, Jason, you got in a Ninja Turtles fight?
But never one like that.
Oh.
My Ninja Turtle fights would have been like Steve's, which is like a planned fight with people and you're screwing around.
I feel sorry for our neighbor kids. I think that's what they expected.
Yeah, I would have 2 sticks that were swords, and then my buddy would have one long stick or whatever, and we'd fight each other. But it never got to the point where we were curb stomping each other.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the 2 neighbor kids, they moved into Magalia, and we were hanging out with them, and they had like a neighborhood kid who was a couple of years older than us, kind of coming by and bullying them because he lived like a few doors down. So my brother and I definitely curb stomped that guy. And that idiot, so this guy, the kid who moved to Magalia, his dad made him a really cool treehouse, right? And the treehouse only had like a waist-high railing for like a little kid. So here's this stupid-ass older kid. He comes over, and I was like, oh, have you seen this treehouse? You got to see it. And he's like, yeah, I've been up there a million times. I was like, no, you got to see this new thing that their dad added. It's really cool. So he goes up there, and I'm like, you got to look over the edge. He put in this really cool shelf thing. You can set like your stuff in there. It's really cool. There's like a little secret thing. You got to like tap it, and then it'll open. And this dumbass looked for it. And when Robert and I grabbed his feet and we threw him over the side, it was like a 12-foot drop, and he landed on his fucking head. Oh, it was fucking funny. He got half pantsed too because his pants caught, which slowed him down, thankfully. He probably would have died when his head hit the asphalt. Yeah, there was asphalt under there, and luckily his pants slowed him down, but it ripped his pants off. And then John proceeded to kick the shit out of him when he was like struggling for consciousness on the ground. That kid was an asshole, though. You could see he like half ripped John's nipple off. He was a jackass. So
I guess this thing was made as a parody for Daredevil back in the day. That's where like that's where the Foot Clan comes in, because you've got the Hand and Daredevil. That's like the mean ninjas in that. And the ooze that in this old comic, the ooze that creates the turtles is also the same thing that blinds Matt Murdock. So
that's so cool.
Yeah. And then all that stuff kind of goes away. I don't think that's their origin story anymore. But that was like the idea was it was just going to be like the turtles were just going to be a parody for a bunch of shit. So I think they were in a few other things too.
Then they ended up being really cool.
And then the show didn't suck, and they were like, "Oh, wait, we really have something here. People like this."
Well, I think at this point, one of the newer ones, it's like the Ninja Turtles versus Batman or some shit like that. So they're over on DC now.
Oh, that'd be weird.
Yeah, I don't feel like they would win.
What's that?
I don't think they'd win against Batman.
Oh yeah, I don't. How the hell would that work? Well, there's 4 of them.
Yeah.
Batman's never fought a turtle before.
That you know of.
He's fought a crocodile.
Oh, I forgot about Killer Croc. Yeah, they're fucked. There's no way they're as tough as Killer Croc.
There's no fucking way. They're not at all.
Well, that's like you see Captain America versus Batman stuff. And it's like, look, Captain America's a tough son of a bitch, but unless you give him a gun, Batman's going to beat him.
Yeah.
Batman can beat up Killer Croc. There's still like, what has Captain America done that's that good? He just goes Avengers Assemble and then, hey, Thor, smash that guy.
Yeah.
Or hey,
And
Vision,
even at that
smash
point,
that guy.
if Batman knows Thor, then he's got something to go against Thor. Like
Yeah.
he's definitely got something to take him out. So
Yeah, that's like, hey, let's do a drinking contest, and then he just attaches his, infinite wine supply, and then Thor just sits there and keeps drinking it for hours.
like the Giants.
Yeah.
He slurps down half
Are you
the sea.
familiar with that story? How the hell did you know about that?
Norse mythology book.
Oh shit, I should read that.
It's good.
I just knew that from a kid that we read stories about that stuff.
Yeah, they drinks the half the ocean or something like that, and the
Yeah.
giants were fucking with him.
Oh my god, the Thor from the myths is so different from Thor from the comics.
Yeah,
They did a pretty good job of getting him kind of, close.
Yeah,
Where he's kind of a jovial idiot,
I feel like
But-
he's closer to that now than he was before. He was way serious in the first
Yeah.
two movies, and he's gotten more of a jovial idiot kind of deal in Ragnarok and then in Endgame and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well, in Norse mythology, he's like just a total he's the worst bragger ever.
yeah,
He's so annoying to listen to the stuff about. Oh, I can drink anybody. It's like somebody I knew that's like, I can shoot a flea off of a dog's back with a BB gun at 1,000 yards or some fucking ridiculous
bullseye
thing.
womp rats.
Yeah, I'm like, oh god, just don't even talk to me anymore, buddy.
Yeah.
The hell is wrong with you? That my dogs are going apeshit behind me. Shut up back there!
Eric's got awesome background noise for everything.
Yeah, I've got a whining kid and then dogs like. "Rah, rah, rah."
The kid's doing good right now.
Yeah, Kelly's got him under control for the time being. Now he's growling at me.
The dog or the kid?
The dog or the kid?
The kid,
Okay.
the kid, he's all
Oh, man.
What a goofball. Anyway, so did you guys have like a favorite character from the show or one of the movies?
Donatello.
Mine would have Shredder by far.
No, I mean like other than the turtles.
Shredder.
Yeah. What about you, Steve?
Besides the turtles, let's see. I don't know. I always thought Casey Jones was kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know,
So I
somebody who-
liked the wolf guy.
Yeah,
And
I always
my
thought-
buddy.
I always thought it was
Go ahead.
cool, like dudes, like same with Batman and like fucking just guys who don't have superpowers beating up like superpowered things and stuff like that.
Yeah, they can actually hang with them.
Yeah,
It's like, wait a second, if you can do that, like you basically have superpowers if there wasn't a guy with superpowers.
yeah,
I mean, there are people like that in real life. They're called like professional athletes.
yeah.
It's like I don't know, MMA guys that can just beat the shit out of pretty much anybody. It's like, how the hell's that work? Son of a bitch. Anyway, so this kid I knew at school had this like cool like book that had all this weird like Ninja Turtles like stuff in it.
Uh-huh.
So he had this thing. It had like there's like weasel guys and then that got me thinking about the Borderlands thing with the weasels or with the rats.
Yeah, with when the Ninja Turtle what's that called? Easter egg,
Yeah.
where you go into the fucking caverns and there's those weird rat people.
Is that one or two?
That is, I want to say it's
Two,
pre-sequel.
right? Oh, it might be pre-sequel. I don't. I would have sworn I just played pre-sequel and 2, so I can't remember.
Oh, it was 2. It was 2. Okay. I
Yeah.
just haven't played 2 for so long. I felt like it was yeah. So they're called the Splinter Group. The mission's called Splinter Group.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It was so cool when I first did that. I'm like, holy shit. This
Yeah.
is awesome. Why don't they do this with everything? They could
And-
be the Thundercats.
And then
I
you
would
get-
I would pay money for that.
And then you get into a mission like when you get in there, then you do the whole like the light thing, and then you can bring out their leader Flinner, and have
Yeah.
to fight him too. So and they like
Did you
ninja
guys-
around the room and shit.
Yeah. Well, then there's like, some of the weird stuff that the Ninja Turtles used to do in the in the. Sorry, I got distracted with the kid. I lost my train of thought.
Cartoon.
Yeah, there was a. Sorry, he was grabbing at some shit, and I swear I seen his arm grow like an inch for a second. You better not be lame ass Mr. Fantastic, buddy. Oh God.
Got to teach him how to use the powers coolly. That'll work.
I'm just gonna teach him to not be boring.
Coolly. I like it.
Yeah. Well, it's so. What did you guys like the best about the Ninja Turtles?
Just in general, or this movie?
Yeah, anything. I don't care. I'm just trying to get. I
don't
can't
know,
think
they-
of anything right now.
I don't know. They were just like, because they were kids, basically. I just, I like that. They were doing fucking, karate and shit like that. But they were kids kicking people's asses and stuff like that. Granted, they were huge fucking kids. Well, they were only like 4 feet tall, weren't they?
Were they?
Yeah, they're real short, actually.
They're not big.
Yeah,
Weird. I always thought they were like 6 feet tall and like 300 pounds.
I think they make them that later on, but I'm almost positive
Stop
they mentioned that they're like 4 feet tall and in something.
They were freaking amazing karate masters that got to use swords and shit, and basically had no real rules in my mind. I mean, they clearly had Splinter looking over them, but that's why I liked them, because they were
Yeah.
fucking badass karate kids with fucking swords and dirks and whatever.
They're like 3.
Yeah,
4
they're
feet
funny and they
tall.
had a party and
They
you
love
know.
pizza too.
They
That
love
was really
pizza?
cool, too.
Yeah, that was my favorite bit. Is they had pizza all the time, and there was a time in my life when we did not eat out at all. Basically, until I was in 5th grade, we ate pizza once.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Holy shit, pizza! Wow, they're going to eat that like every day." And they have swords. They're getting to use their sword on a pizza. This is my ideal right here. I could definitely see me chopping a pizza with a sword.
So the
Well,
new.
so-
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no! Just real quick about the pizza,
Mhm.
where they're underground, the tunnel with Danny or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I think I have a pizza somewhere, and then, did you order a pizza with penicillin? Like, so I know what I think I don't know if as a kid if I knew what penicillin was, but probably because I heard it a lot. I don't know, but now I'm thinking, dude, it's not an actual medication. Penicillin is mold. And I'm like, oh my God, ew. And they're like, whatever. They're like, yeah, I like penicillin. I'm like, that's weird.
Oh man.
Things you don't notice as a kid. And then you're, like, oh, that's mold, not,
Ew.
yeah.
I do like
Well,
how
it's
when they
gross.
buy the pizza in the very beginning and he has them slide the pizza down the slot, there's definitely not enough room for that pizza to slide down that slot.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like there's
Yeah.
like little like grooves and stuff like that, and then there's like apparently a section that is wide enough for a pizza that somebody definitely could get their foot caught in or some shit. But whatever, the pizza got to get down there somehow, right? I figured, why not just put it down one of the storm drains on the side? That it pulls people into.
It style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the new movie, the turtles are almost 7 feet tall. So like
Well, that's
Donatello,
dumb.
yeah, Donatello is like 7 feet, and then Michelangelo is the shortest at over like 6.5 feet tall. So
They're cooler when they're short.
yeah, well, you don't really notice it though when they're fighting and stuff. They because obviously it's harder to do. It was harder to do that kind of shit with their with back in the day with their crazy animatronic suits and stuff like that. Though they were still pretty mobile for being crazy animatronic suits. So
Yeah.
they did
no
a really
shit.
fucking good job with that kind of shit. So it's just ridiculous how much shit went into that. Like have you ever seen the turtle's face without the face on it? Like it looks scary as fuck. It's like Five Nights at Freddy's shit.
No, I haven't
Oh.
seen it,
It's
and now I
really
don't
weird
want to.
looking.
I want to say I have. It was a long, long time ago. I don't know.
Hell no.
Huh.
Well, there was a making
at it.
of the Ninja Turtles documentary that came out at around the same time. And I remember at one time we rented the movie, but turned out to be that fucking movie. And I was super pissed off, but I ended up watching it anyways. And they had stuff like that in there. And I was like, man, that's creepy as fuck. There's like a whole scene where you can see down the throat of one of the turtles, and you can see the dude's face inside the mouth. Yeah.
You know those guys didn't get paid enough to do that.
God, no. It had to be
God, that had
sweaty
to
and
be
gross.
awful.
I'd want that shell to be just all air conditioner. It'd be heavier, but whatever. I'd be cooler.
You're like, I need an AC in here.
Yeah.
You're always just because the condenser causes moisture to form. You'd constantly look like you were having a little dripping, leaking issue from your penis there.
Oh, that reminds me. What the fuck is up with them just tossing Raphael in a fucking bathtub to heal him? Like, was there like, crazy fucking herbs in that bathtub? Or they're just like, he's going to be super uncomfortable. We'll just toss him in this bathtub where we usually just sleep on beds or like on the floor or something. But it's all right. He can go in the bathtub. He looks super uncomfortable like that. His legs are all up weird, like curved up around him and stuff, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's a dick.
So they just decided to heal him like a dick.
Well, I mean, you could imagine, like, there's people that that if they were all fucked up, you'd be like, yeah, this guy's a dick. I'm going to put him in a slightly uncomfortable spot.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't have any beds. Maybe, I mean, he does have a shell, and they are turtles, so maybe having them in the water helps him heal up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
That makes no sense, but we could go with it.
Yeah. Like when I was younger, didn't think anything of it, but now I'm watching, I'm like, why the fuck is he in a bathtub? Like, it looks undercut. Like, I could understand if they all slept in something like that. Maybe they felt safe in something like that. But every time we see them sleep, they're sleeping on the ground with some blankets or on a couch or something like that. So they don't give a
He's
shit.
a turtle vampire, and instead of a coffin, he has to sleep in the bathtub.
Oh.
And then Blade's going to show up and kill all of them.
Oh, man. Fucked.
Could you
They had
imagine
that chest
Wesley
armor, though.
Snipes
I
would
don't know if they could go through it.
Oh, yeah. Well, you could cut their head off, and then he'd have time
true.
to, like, hydraulic press. He'd just go to that guy who has a YouTube channel, hydraulic press versus whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, hydraulic press turtle versus wood steak. And you're like, well, that's a dude. What the hell is he doing to that guy? Bam! And then he'd, like, do the melty thing from Blade.
Yeah.
Was Blade the one where they popped? Like, they just turned into, like, a blood soup and then just kind of popped? Or am I thinking of something else?
Blade is the one. Well, no, when he cut people's heads off, there was just a lot of blood. It was similar to like watching those old like kung fu movies where like you'd have like somebody with a sword and then somebody get their arm cut off and just blood would spray everywhere. It was similar to that. Every time you'd leave a room, they would just like explode with blood. But they wouldn't like blow up unless. I'm trying to think which one. I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to think. Did it happen in that movie?
I don't know. There's been so many vampire movies and shows, and they all do that a little different. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the hell I'm even thinking of.
It's been so long since I watched Blade.
Yeah, it's another good fucking villain or super anti-hero,
Yeah.
Well,
they're coming out with
I mean,
a new one of that too.
Are they?
Yeah, I think the guy
They
got
got to tie that in with Morbius?
possibly. They announced it somewhere around the same time as Morbius. So, but they got what's his name? Shit. He was fucking Cottonmouth in Nick Cage.
Oh, yeah.
not
He's
Nick
got
Cage,
a
Luke
hard
Cage.
name to pronounce.
Yeah, but he
something Ali, is that
Marshala
right?
Ali or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think Jason and I. Oh, he was in Alita: Battle Angel, and he is wearing dark glasses and like a dark suit and stuff like that. And me and Jason, both of us looked at each other when we were watching it. And we're like, "That's Blade." And then they announced it like half a year later that he was Blade. And I was like, "Holy fuck!" He just looked like
That's
Blade in the
cool.
movie. So, yeah.
He does a great job in True Detective. He plays just a detective.
Yeah.
And they got him like aged and stuff at some point. And he does such a good job, you forget it's him.
Yeah.
And then you watch him as Cottonmouth, and you're like, holy shit, this guy's a super talented actor.
Yeah.
Because
So
it's not,
I look forward to what he does as Blade. I think he's going to do a great job.
yeah. It's
As
not
long
like
as he gets a
watching
good
Steven
movie.
Dorff where he plays Steven Dorff and everything,
Yeah. Fucking Steven Dorff.
Well, he's entertaining to watch. It's just, there's like a skill there.
I'm pretty sure he was
like-
in a Blade movie also, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He's like the villain in like the first one or the second one.
Yeah.
So was the dad from Grounded for Life. He was in them.
Hmm.
I was like, what the hell's this guy doing in here? He's supposed to be like getting stoned with his brother Eddie.
Grounded for Life. Which one's Grounded for Life?
That's the one with the hot
Donald
blonde
Loge.
mom.
Donald Loge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy.
That guy gets his fucking arm cut off or something like that as a vampire,
Yeah.
and then is
Yeah.
stuck with one arm, and then he gets killed later on at some fucking rave.
Yep. Yeah, he's
Fucking
all
Donald
pissed off
Loge is
about-
awesome though.
Yeah, did
He's-
you ever
he's-
see him in Sons of Anarchy?
Let's see. I don't know if I've seen him in that yet.
Yeah,
I didn't get
he
very far into the
is
show yet.
awful.
Yeah.
But like a great actor, like he does a great job at the character he plays as a real piece of shit.
He was pretty good in that show Vikings also. So
I don't remember. I made it to like episode 3 of season 1 or something, and then
Yeah,
we
he's-
started
he-
watching something else.
he's only in it shortly, so
What is he, an Irish guy?
no, he plays one of the Jarls. Jarl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
cool.
What rating did you guys give this?
4 stars.
I gave it 4 stars.
Fuck. This one gets a 4.5.
I also gave it 4.5 stars. Fucking love Ninja Turtles. Watch all the shit all the time. I don't fucking care. Watch the new stuff. Who cares? Fucking Ninja Turtles, man. Awesome. All right, next week's movie is Eric's choice. What are you gonna choose?
Oh man, I hold on a second, it popped out of my head. Well, I was gonna choose the Apes movie, but then that I don't think we own the next one. So then I was like, whoever bought Idiocracy, is it all right if I pick that movie?
Yeah, I bought it a long time ago.
All right. Then I'd like to do Idiocracy because I was like, how the hell have we not done this? Especially like in the current climate.
I've never seen it, so
You're gonna
Oh,
learn
yeah.
a lot about dildozers.
Fucking Macho
Okay.
Camacho.
Yeah.
Terry Crews is awesome.
And it's what plants crave. I
Yeah.
don't remember the name of the stuff.
Brondo.
Which yeah.
Brondo is what
Is,
plants crave.
the Wilson brother in it.
Yeah.
The
Luke.
Luke, yeah.
Yep. All right, guys. So that's gonna be it. Nobody has anything else?
No.
No.
No, I'm good.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you guys like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Heroic Adventure Productions, twitch.tv/Heroic Adventure, mixer.com/Turketer, and twitch.tv/Turketer Plays. You can also follow us on Twitter at HAP Gaming. Follow me on Twitter at Turketer. Follow Eric on Twitter at
Quick and severe.
Kelly on Twitter at
Sugar Snuggles.
Jason on Twitter at
Unbelievable one.
and Ricky on Twitter at Furry Twitter Balls. You can also email us at Steve, Eric, Kelly, Jason, and Ricky at hapgaming.com. Each one of those names individually at hapgaming.com. You can find all the stuff I've been saying in the description on youtube.com/Heroic Adventure Productions and twitch.tv/Turketer Plays. You can also find in the description a donate link. Donate, buy me a taco. That would be amazing. Also, like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Hit that bell button. What else is there? That's it. Join us next week as we talk about Idiocracy next Sunday, 7:00 p.m. Pacific time, and next time, or sometime next week as we play some video game at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. I'm not sure Tuesday or Wednesday, which one everyone it is. So,
I don't think I'll or Kylie. Goddamn, I don't think I'll have Athena either day.
okay. So that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.